So with some recent updates happening in Korea, I'm gonna make this sort of a PSA video on why you should be saving a good portion of your raid gear drops, because if you do, you will benefit from it once the update eventually arrives in global and NA as well. And there are a total of 2 reasons why you should be saving it. These are 2 separate mechanics, but both of them will benefit you a lot in the end. So in a good few months, maybe less, the hero raids will come out. This is a feature currently only available in Korea. It's not out in global or NA yet, but there is a very good way to prepare for it, and I'll explain both of the methods on how you should do it. So first important aspect of saving your gear is this thing called equipment succession. This will most likely come out before hero area raids, not hero area but like hero tier raids. And what this allows you to do is basically if you have a certain weapon or accessory of your choice, you are able to transfer the substat tiers onto that weapon. So in the example you can see here, let's say this dark weapon is your main weapon, like it's some kind of a higher tier weapon that you currently have. However, it rolled really bad substats. Let's say it's a seal weapon, because I mean seal weapons are sort of the end game weapons currently. Let's say your seal rolled a 4 D tier subs. That would cost a lot of materials to upgrade just using those refining catalysts, and they are super limited, so it will probably take you months, maybe like half a year, to upgrade the weapon to 4 S tier substats, right? But this feature of equipment succession will allow you to transfer substats, or rather substat gears, tiers, from a weapon that you don't actually use onto the weapon that you do. So it will transfer the substat tiers. So if a weapon has 2S, 1A and 1B rank, it will transfer that onto your main weapon. It will also transfer the gem that is currently equipped, but you can also just equip the gem afterwards. That part is not too necessary. The main important thing is transferring the substats, and this is where saving your gears becomes important. Is that say you have some weaker level gear, right? Let's say you got a drop from Foggy Prison. You don't plan on powering that accessory up, but it got something like 2 S stats and 2 A stats, right? And let's say the same accessory type on your current accessory set is something like 2 C tiers and 2 B tiers, right? So upgrading that one is quite expensive, but if you do save up the gears that have high substat tiers, you will be able to easily transfer them over to the new accessory, weapon, whatever it is. Now the thing is, you are only able to use this feature for 6-star weapons or up, meaning that if the substat tier that you have is on a weaker weapon, let's say like a Foggy drop, which is 5-star, 0 awakenings, that's completely fine. You are able to power them up using some materials through the blacksmithing profession. You level it up to level 6, or rather 6 stars, and you later use it for materials. So the gear that you want to be saving is, first of all, gear that you have high tiers of. So regardless of where it drops from, whether it's Foggy, whether it's Mythos or any other raid, keep in mind that you do need to save the drops that are only dropped from raids and can be upgraded to 6 stars. Stuff like subjugation drops will not work because they cannot be upgraded to 6 stars. So save all your gear drops that have high tier substats and that you plan on using as material for your main gear. And now an even more recent change is the hero raid gear. So previously each accessory set from each raid had various different bonuses. So if we go to the blacksmithing tab and we check up on, let's say, the accessory sets, right? The set from Porgy Prison, I believe, had, was it defense? Yeah, it gave summoner defense. From Mythos, it gave summoner HP. Yep. From Naraka, it was summoner attack. From Seal, it was HP to oh no, it was defense to all of your monsters, not your summoner. Twisted Marsh had a damage reduction in Arena, and Tree of Heroes, which is not out in Global yet, but it is in NA, had a dissimilar effect, but just on Summoner, not your monsters. Now, with the change of Hero tier gear, these effects are getting changed a lot. This was the most recent patch in Korea, and it really shakes up the meta for the gear that you're using. So previously, the main sets that were used were either the Farakel set from the Tree of Heroes raid, from the Marsh raid, which reduced the damage on your monsters, or even in some cases Seal gear to boost up the defense on your monsters. I know some Orbia users like to use the Naraka set as well to boost up that attack on your summoner. But yeah, basically only a few of the sets were meta, but with the most recent change, these set bonuses, once you upgrade them to hero tier, will be changed a lot. And there's a very good chance that you will actually want to be using the gear from one of the earlier raids, as opposed to one of the latter ones. So if you look on the screen right now, you will see the changes that were made to the gear accessory sets. So this was, let me explain first of all the raids. So Stormy Memory is Foggy Prison, this is Mythos, this is Naraka, Abyssal Earth is the Seal gear, and the last two will be the Twisted Marsh as well as the Farakel or Tree of Heroes. So these are the previous bonuses that they had, but now these set bonuses have been changed to only work in PvP, and these will mostly affect the damage dealt or the damage taken. So Foggy Prison will now mostly focus on the damage dealt from your summoner, but it will also increase the damage dealt by your monsters a bit. So summoner 11% more damage and monsters 5% more damage. Mythos gear will have the opposite effect, so it will have a small boost on your summoner damage, but a higher boost on your monster damage. So for example, if you're something like a Kina or a Cleave, where you're really not the biggest damage dealer, but you would prefer your monsters to do the damage, Mythos set suddenly becomes one of the better ones in terms of allowing you to increase that damage that you deal overall. And then Naraka set is sort of a balanced one. It will increase your summoner damage by 8% and monster damage by 7%. So the first three raids actually boost up the damage that both your summoner as well as monsters do. So there's a very good chance that if you're chasing that high damage in PvP, you will end up wanting to use these sets, and you should be saving your earlier raid drops instead of selling them, just in case you decide to build up a set that's something like a Mythos. I know personally I would want to build a Mythos set. I know it will be quite expensive, but I will be saving Mythos gear personally because I think boosting the damage is very important for me as a Cleave user. And then we move over to the other three sets, and these three sets will actually have the opposite effect from the first three, and these will decrease the damage both your summoner as well as your monsters take. So the Seal set will be the more balanced one, where your summoner will receive 8% less damage and your monsters will receive 7% less damage. Twisted Marsh will focus more on receiving damage for your monsters, and the Farakel set or the Tree of Heroes set will have the opposite of Marsh set, and it will focus more on reducing damage for your summoner as opposed to your... And of course, if you're not interested in using that gear, there will also be two new sets that are coming out with the hero raids. These will be drops from the new hero raids that will be coming out in the future. They also have very similar effects of reducing the damage both your monsters and your summoners take by 6.5%. This is the same bonus for both of them. This set also has a bonus of increasing your mana recovery by 5%. So if that is something you're interested in, make sure to save up for these raids as well. And these sets will also have a hidden bonus that changes every season. So for example, the Legacy of the Sun set currently has a bonus of increasing the target skill cooldown by 2 seconds, which means it's a 1 second originally, but since the hero set effect bonus is active, it will add another second to the boost, and every 1 second when a team member applies sleep or root, the enemy or when the target is asleep or rooted. So basically, if you have units or summoners that do sleep or roots, this will be a decent set for you. And the moon set has an effect, which I think moon one is the better one overall. It applies immunity at the start of the battle. So initially this works for 5 seconds, and based on the season bonus, you will also be getting 3 extra second duration for it. So yeah, overall, as you can see, the gear changes that are coming will be pretty big. So if you do plan on crafting some of the new sets with the new bonuses, I do recommend checking out especially the earlier sets, such as 40 Prison Meters, because if you're looking to increase that damage overall, those will be the sets you will most likely be going for. Apart from that, just keep saving the gear that has high tier substats, because those will be super important in increasing the gear subs of your current items. And yeah, just a hopefully quick video on this. More stuff coming tomorrow, and peace.